Ultimately, some of those drives got down there. We bust one. Great balance, and running through some trash. Joey pulls it, on short yardage play, and they don't have contain off of that pressure. And good job reading it by him. So. Some good execution down in the tight zone. And, down there, you got to be able to run the football.
Here.
Josh, any update on Kitzelman or Moy or Bishop? Some of those guys got banged up there at the end.
Yeah, I don't have an update on those guys. They'll get evaluated tomorrow, like everybody.
Yeah.
Josh, how have you seen George progress throughout the season, and what do you think of his limited time in there tonight?
Yeah, limited time, just the way the fourth quarter unfolded. George has continued to get better in the reps that he gets during practice, the bye week. Obviously, a heavier load than probably a normal game week. I thought he went out there and handled himself well. Throws the boot play and picks up yards, and then the 1 3rd down. Just we're getting beat up a little bit in man press, but all in all, he's continued to grow.
Back to Eric.
Josh, what did you see on the 2 interceptions from Joey?
Yeah, the one is intermediate concept. Ball's a little bit inside. We got to go close out and finish on the play too. And he's moving in the pocket on the second one. He saw the post player, was actually trying to throw the over. And, body may not have been in a great position, and gets hit a little bit on the play, and the ball just sails on him. 2 plays that we have to go execute, and can't be turnovers.
Josh, what have you seen from Jaden Perlotti? It seems like every time he's in the game, especially when he's seeing the ball and go getting it, he's closing fast and making plays. Yeah,
see ball, hit ball, and go get it. Yeah, and he's pretty good at that. Fast, destructive, violent, physical, and got great explosive power. And does a good job in his pressures. Obviously, the 15-yarder, on the. I think it was 3rd and 20 from the 20. You can't get 15 on that, but he's a young player that continues to grow.
And Ty Redmond too. How have you seen him sort of handle being a freshman corner in the SEC and getting targeted and making the play today?
Life in the SEC, you're playing against really good competition. When you're young, they're going to try you, and there's been some ups and downs for him, like there is for every player during the course of a schedule. And I like his resiliency, how he competes on the practice field, continued growth, and going to be a great player.
Back to Ben on the left.
Josh, what did DeJuan Morris do to earn those opportunities on punt return?
Yeah, he's just been really consistent here. We had him in there early in the year. Game 1, he got some opportunities, and as a young player, just understanding, how the game gets played and the nuances of it. He's just continued to grow in his ability to communicate, understand when he's got space, and so we've been continuing to grow him in that role.
Wes.
Coach, I guess just generally speaking, with some of the guys who didn't play tonight because of injuries, were there any situations where some of those guys, if this were a league game, could have gone? Or?
Yeah, I think a majority of those guys, probably would have been able to go.
Coach, this with New Mexico State, do you kind of use this as an opportunity to try anything new or try any concept with the guys or anything like that?
Like defensively, certain positions in particular, played a lot of young guys today. Defensively from them, they're kind of a defense of the day every week. They're very multiple in what they do, and so early in the football game, figuring out who and what they were going to be and trying to adjust to it.
Josh, the defensive line seemed to get a lot of PBUs. Daevin Hobbs had a couple, Tyree West in the pick six. Just what allowed those guys to have that success, being able to get in the quarterback's face and get hand up?
Yeah, I thought early in the football game, thought they would do it, but a lot of RPOs, perimeter screen game, get the ball out quick as the game went on, and you were able to get into some 3rd and long situations, 2nd and long. The ability for those guys to rush the passer and win at the line of scrimmage and affect the quarterback. I thought as the game went on, we did a better job of that, and in part just because we had more opportunity to.
Eric, and then
Josh,
Wes.
can a young guy like DeSean and his versatility, being able to do some different things, help you guys, on the road next week and back here against Vandy?
Yeah, DeSean's continued to grow. A guy that missed all of spring ball, and as he's come back, learn how to play in the core. Extremely gifted out in space, natural. You saw him out there some tonight, but certainly has an opportunity to help us on the stretch, and we've been planning and working towards that.
Josh, with Hobbs specifically, him going before he got hurt in camp, what kind of an off season had he had, and how much was he missed early in the year?
Yeah. He's encountered a couple of injuries before this fall, and I don't want to say that that's necessarily stunted his growth, but he's missed a bunch of time. I thought he had an elite offseason, and was playing really good football during the course of training camp. Him being hurt, Jackson Moy being hurt early in the year certainly hurt us defensively. And then you throw in the corners. There's a lot of pieces of the puzzle that weren't there. Getting him back, getting him fully integrated, healthy, is a huge part, a huge help to us defensively.
Last one to Paige.
Josh, it seemed in the third quarter you guys were really trying to establish the run. How would you evaluate the overall success you guys had in the ground game?
Yeah, I thought in the third quarter, just structurally how they were playing things, that was something that we were pointing to, and I thought we went out and executed, those scenarios, those opportunities pretty well in the second half.
Thank you, Coach. We'll have players up here shortly.
Thank you all.
Thank you.
All right, first group of players here, we got Daevin Hobbs, Ty Redmond, and William Wright. Raise your hand for questions, and I'll call on you. Get started. Paige, we'll start with you in the back.
Ty, if you'll walk us through your one-handed technique you had there.
Yeah, we honed in on our details all week. Once they went 4 strong, we was alert for the slant. So I just felt the break and made a play on the ball and give my offense an opportunity to go score.
Wes?
David, given the way that injuries happen in football, but your coaches have all said you'd had a really good offseason, and to kind of have that happen during camp, how frustrating was that at that point? And do you feel like you're kind of back to that level now in terms of being healthy and how you were before the injury?
Yeah, it is what it is. It's life, It's got ups and downs. But, just keep working in the training room and whatnot. But, yeah, I definitely feel like I'm back right where I was. Just kept watching film whenever. But, yeah, I would say I'm right where I was before I got hurt.
Ty, how some of the, as a freshman, how some of the older guys in your position group kind of help bring you along and show you the ropes?
Mod, Rick, Hood, even Will always, on me about like the little things, like maybe like writing in my notebook more, just honing on like the releases of the receivers, just more film study. It's like not more of the physical game, more the mental. So, yeah.
Ty, for you, how have you just kind of handled the ups and downs of being a freshman corner in the SEC, knowing teams are going to come after you? How have you sort of handled the good days and the bad days that you've had on Saturdays?
That's why I signed up for being a corner. Even if I wasn't a freshman, I'm still expecting for them to attack me. That's how you got to play the position. So just, not getting too high, not getting too low. Just focus on the next play.
Emily and Caleb?
Will, can you walk us through that defensive touchdown you had?
Yeah, just an awesome moment. Been waiting for it for a while, taking advantage of my opportunities. I wanted to, if I ever got this opportunity again, I want to praise God for bringing me along here and along my journey and just staying the course, trusting the coaches, trusting the Lord, and trusting myself, and just taking advantage of every opportunity I get out there.
Adam? Caleb and then Adam.
Ty and William, for both of you guys, just how much easier does it make it on the secondary when you've got your defensive lineman in a quarterback's face, or like Tyree West on your pick knocking that ball up for you to grab? How much easier does that make it?
Yeah, they're like our best friends out there because, obviously we play hand in hand, but, Tyree West, shout out to him for making the opportunity possible. But it's just the better they play, the better we play, and vice versa.
Yeah, shout out to the D-line.
Go ahead.
Ty, where do you think like the level of motivation is this late in the season, and is it like for you as a young guy, are you trying to play your best at the end of your freshman year?
I mean, I'm trying to play my best every game, so I just go game by game, you know, control what I control. So it don't matter what the season's looking like. I'm just trying to go out there to help my team win the game.
Bannon and David.
William, how have you seen Ty grow throughout this season?
Oh, it's been awesome. Even seeing him in spring ball, you know, coming into the freshman, it's just been amazing seeing his development coming in, you know, making huge plays as a freshman. It's great to see. And, of course, you know, all of us in the DB room, his biggest friends, you know, trying to get him going. He's a great player, and we love what we're seeing.
Do you remember when you realized he was going to be able to help you all as a true freshman this season?
As soon as he came into spring ball making plays. So as soon as he came in, day one.
David, and then we'll go Paige.
Ty, kind of a big picture question. You know, the defense played that really good first half against Oklahoma. Today, that's the least amount of points you've allowed all season. Do y'all feel like y'all are taking steps defensively, and can you say you're better than you were defensively compared to the beginning of the year? And if so, why?
Yeah, I feel like the whole defense as a whole is just better, you know. It's just gotten better since the first game, you know, just taking our lumps and, you know, just learning from our mistakes, you know. Yeah, and just getting them experience for that helped me, like, you know, get better throughout the season, you know, taking my lumps, taking all the hard games I had, but just learn from it and just move on.
One or two more for this group, Paige, and then we'll go to Patrick.
David, you played very motivated out there with the deflections and the tackles. What was fueling you out there on the field today?
You know, last game ain't go our way, so just get that bad taste out of my mouth, you know, just go out there and just play hard, you know, play for my guys, the seniors, Coach G, you know, but just, I'll just play hard, playing hard.
Patrick.
Well, you're one of the last 6-year guys in this program. You've seen the ups and downs for this coaching staff. How would you kind of describe both your vantage point, seeing the program sort of grow into what it's become, and your part in it too?
Yeah, I'm super proud of it. I'm super proud that I stuck around for it because, you know, Coach Heupel's my guy, and this team, we were a family. So, you know, going through everything that we're going through, I'm so proud that I stayed and got to be a part of it.
Thanks. All right, that's good for this group. We'll have Joey and DeSean here in just a second.
Thanks, guys.
Appreciate you. All right, we'll wrap up tonight's media availabilities with Joey Aguilar and DeSean Bishop. Raise your hand for questions, and I'll call you. Get started.
You guys, throughout the season, for both of you, have been open, talked about your faith a lot. How has that guided you through the ups and downs of not just this season, but throughout your career?
You know, personally, a lot of my journey was hard and tough, and you know, so most of the time you're by yourself, and that's when you know can talk to God and talk to Jesus and really get an understanding and like focus on what His ultimate plan is. And you know, going into games like this, not playing my best, and you know, being super frustrated at halftime, you know, came in, had some time to myself, and, you know, talked to Him, and you know, had to reset. It helps a lot, you know. He's the best thing in my life. You know, without Him, I wouldn't have anything that I have now. So, you know, I give all praises to Him, and to have a team and be around people that share the same faith and, you know, strive to be the best they can be in that area is awesome to be around.
Joey, Coach was in here a minute ago. He said there was some practice this week he didn't like on offense. You guys didn't have your edge or something. What caused that, you think, that practice that he's talking about?
Just energy all around, and you know, being the leader. It starts with me, not being elite at practice all day, and that causes me to come out here and, you know, have a game that I did today, and, you know, not the best, and, you know, super frustrated with that on myself personally. A lot of good stuff that we did, but you know, that's on me to, you know, carry that throughout the week and bring it in on Saturdays.
Do you think that's something that can be and will be corrected before, obviously, another big game coming next week before that? Is that sort of a warning to you guys, you think?
I mean, it's just, you know, how you practice, how you play. And, you got to take advantage of it. We got 2 more games guaranteed, and they're going to be fun games. Florida and Vanderbilt, big rivalry games. So you just got to prepare really tomorrow and Sunday. With your recovery and watch this game and learn and grow, and then everything starts to kick off Monday and just have great energy and come to compete.
And Joey, the couple of throws that I'm sure you'd like to have back the last 2 games, what do you think is going to be the biggest key for you this week to get those corrected and make sure they don't happen in the swamp next Saturday?
Just keep trusting myself, keep trusting my players. Sometimes I throw a bad ball, sometimes I don't. And, defense will make a play, sometimes they won't. So, just go out there and just keep the confidence that I have and just go out there and play.
Paige?
DeSean, there was a sweet moment after the game where Braylon gave your younger brother his gloves. Just kind of how special is that, knowing like the family's so tight here and just how much your younger brother appreciated that moment?
Something about his name's JC. Something about him. He's very outgoing. Like, he is not afraid to approach anybody on this team. Like, he'll approach you like he already knows you. So, through my family has found this place really home, especially being here. We grew up watching the Vols play. He's big on ball itself, and just the journey we've been on just to make this place home has been like any other. And like, that just shows who our team is. Selfless, like guys that love everybody regardless of like your family or not. Like, you wear that orange, your family to them. So I didn't even see that moment, but I appreciate you for letting me know that.
David, and then Ben again. Joey, I mean, y'all have put up 500 yards, 600 yards in some games. When you have a game like this with like a couple of picks in the first half, a couple of 3-and-outs, how does that feel compared to some of the other games y'all had? Do you come away kind of frustrated, or what do you feel after a game like this? It wasn't horrible, it just wasn't up to what y'all have been doing.
I mean, like I said, definitely frustrating, especially on my part. Not being elite enough to put the offense in a position to score or, just keep us on the field. So personally, definitely frustrating. But, it's just things that we can fix with just, mental and just details of what we're trying to accomplish.
Sean, where do you think the running game is at going into jumping back into SEC play next weekend?
I think it's where it needs to be. I see how elite we are when we get the run game established, and especially like we have 3 good running backs, and we all carry the ball very well. And I just believe that's it's where it wants to be. I just feel like we just got to continue to execute at a high level, continue to push that piece of our game, and we're unstoppable when we do have the run game flowing.
Elijah?
For either one of you guys, I mean, football is the ultimate team sport. We see you guys put up numbers with yards and touchdowns, but for today, you see the defense dominate. How fun is it to see those guys make plays on interceptions and forced fumbles, stopping guys at fourth and short and stuff? How fun is that to see them make plays?
You got it.
Man, it's honestly a blessing, like just to see everybody eating, and we have a lot of great players, but obviously can't play all of them. But there's a lot of guys that love seeing guys make plays, and that just shows how like selfless we are on this team, and it really shows like this is probably one of the most connected Vols teams I've been a part of, and it's been fun to watch. I know that the season isn't where we want it to be right now, but that's not taken away from like the strides we made this year, and I just believe we're going to continue to get better regardless of what anybody thinks, regardless of like what is put out there. Like I'm very satisfied with what we've done, especially off the field. I mean, there's a lot of stuff that people don't see that happens in like the locker rooms and on the field. Like this group of men like love playing with each other, and just see everybody out there shining tonight is really, really a blessing in itself.
I'll do a few more. Mike, Patrick, and we'll finish Emily.
Yeah, Joey, with George, what did you see out of him tonight? And how is he growing throughout this season as you've seen him practice and go through everything? Yeah, the quarterback room, we try to help each other out as much as possible. And being the older guy, obviously they ask me questions about film, in-game, be on the sideline, kind of ask what I see, and then vice versa, ask what they see. But, man, from the day I got here till now, I mean, both of them grew a whole lot. And, it's kind of cool to be the older guy and have them kind of learn under me. I kind of been in that situation, kind of, not really, but to know how bright a future that both of them have. And he got a couple reps out there, didn't get his
probably enough as he wanted, but time on the clock kind of took away from that. But he's dialed in and into his details of what he has to accomplish, and I just can't wait to see when he got the full go.
Patrick? Joey, you've kind of expressed you're frustrated about your performance. Are you the kind that's going to go watch film right now? Do you just sort of stick to your routine and be more intentional about it, or do you kind of do something different after a game like this where you're not exactly pleased with how you played?
Just gotta, just get away from it a little bit. I feel like if I go watch film right now, I'll probably get even more mad at myself. But just get away from it, enjoy the fan right now, and then tomorrow morning, just go back in the office and break down what I got to do better.
Emily, last question.
William, obviously, he's a redshirt senior, so he's been a part of this program for a while. And he said, he was just in here, he was like, I've been patient wanting to make those kind of plays. For either of you, how cool is it to see him get that defensive touchdown?
Oh, I'll start with that one. Me personally, coming in and just a short amount of time trying to learn everybody's story, his is definitely cool. Like he said, being patient and to go out there and see him make plays. I mean, he was out there, great special team player, making plays on there, and then he gets out there on defense, and everything just comes naturally. He went out there, made some plays on D, and then get the pick six to get rewarded. So I'm very happy for him.
I'll add something real quick. Especially Will, he started his career as a walk-on too. So I feel what he feels like, and the work that you have to put in to just even get to that moment. And there's been a lot of opportunities for him to showcase what he can do. I know he had the big play a couple of years ago against Bama, which led us up to winning that game as well. And just like I said, another guy that's big on his faith. We talk about we have kick return period, and we're chatting about what we've been reading in the Bible, like what our scripture's been saying, and it really shows that God rewards those people that invest in him, but also do their part, invest in their time, and the hard work pays off, man. I don't care what nobody says, man. You don't work hard, man. You're not gonna get what you want, and that just shows that. No matter where your situation is, no matter where you are on the depth chart, man. You put in the work, man. God's gonna reward you regardless of it, man. That was really cool to see. I didn't realize he had picked it off until I saw him running back down here, but as a blessing itself, just to witness all that.
Thanks, everybody.
Thank you, guys.
Appreciate y'all. God bless.